Hey, what's up you guys? Shartimus Prime here doing another toy review on the Marvel Titan Heroes Series Mega Collection 12 pack. Gotta give a big thanks to Hasbro for sending this box of toys my way to review for you guys, and once in a while do a straight up toy review. These are not necessarily adult collectible action figures, but they are straight up toys. You can see that we get 12 characters. We get Thor, Black Panther, Gamora, Groot, Star-Lord, Falcon, Captain America, Spidey, Black Widow, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, and Iron Man. And then on the side you can see all 12 characters again right over there. And then on the very back you can see a product shot of all 12 toys. Then there's the characters once more. Then we get the characters again at the top, and then there's absolutely very little except for a barcode at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack these things open. And here's all 12 figures or toys out of the packaging, and they look pretty good. I do like how they have a mix of the MCU and the comic versions in here. Like, we definitely have a comic version, our most current comic version of Iron Man right over there, but then we get a definite movie version of Ant-Man. This looks like it could be either or for Black Panther. That looks like a comic version of Black Widow. We have comic Hawkeye, comic Spidey, comic Falcon, and then it looks more like a movie Captain America over there. The Thor, could go either way. The Gamora, she looks like a cross between movie and comic version. That's definitely more of a movie version of Star-Lord, even though they've changed the look of Star-Lord to look more like his movie version in the comics. And then we definitely have a more movie version of Groot right over there. So let's get a closer look at these. I want to start with Spider-Man. He's my favorite. So these are kids' toys above anything else, and I'm not expecting the utmost accuracy with the sculpt and the paint on these, nor am I expecting all kinds of crazy articulation, which we're definitely not getting on them. There's a little bit of extra black paint right here in the white of his eye, right there. You can kind of see it. And it looks like the cobwebbing pattern is just, I don't know, a little overabundant right over here, but it doesn't look awful. Then we get a really big spider logo right there on his chest, and then we get some nice vibrant blue and red, nice muscle definition on there. The hands look okay. He's got these giant bendy fingers right over there, which aren't actually bendy, but you could see, whoa, they definitely do have a bend to them. Very skinny fingers right there. And nice thigh muscles and everything. And then we get the feet and all that. No peg holes at the bottom of any of these. You're just looking on the back. So the back of him should look a little bit more something like this. We should see a lot more blue on the back. So yeah, they definitely could have painted this more blue than red right over there. And then there's Captain America with those eyes that look upwards like we used to see in our Marvel Legends. Thank God we don't have that anymore. I wish they painted the little wings right over here white or silver, but we get the A deco right over there. And here's looking at the back of it. They didn't paint the straps all the way through, so you could see it kind of just stops right over here. We do get this brown color right over here, not looking too shabby. And the paint right here for the lower torso looks pretty clean. You get the abs sculpted in there. It does stop on the back, so, it doesn't continue all the way through. He does have a hole in the very back right over there, and he has holes on each forearm, so you could have him holding the shield on either side. Then the wrinkles right here look pretty good. You get some holes in the knee pads, and you get the brown boots right over there. But to demonstrate, you can port this off, and then go ahead and plug it right into his back like so. So that's kind of neat. You get display options. And then we have Gamora, which actually has a pretty nice head sculpt. I think the hair looks actually pretty good on this. Definitely more of a movie version with this one. I really like how the pink fades right over here from the maroon color or the brownish color that we see right there for the rest of the hair. But yeah, very nice fade in the paint. Nice sculpted hair, and the face looks pretty, not a bad looking face. I don't like those real beady yellow eyes, but still not too bad. Then the rest of it, you get that very bright green throughout, not a whole lot of detail over here. And she has like a fake sheath right there for her sword. Glossy black paint right there for the gauntlets, and then she does have her sword, which is pretty neat. A little bit of sculpted detail right over there. And you get these lines on here, so that's pretty cool. Then here's looking at the legs, and you get the knee pads, not looking too shabby. And there's the bottom of her boots. Very glossy black throughout on all of the boots right there. And then here we have, he is Groot, and not looking too bad. I like that we have some wood grain sculpted in there, and the eyes have some orange in them. They could have gone with just black, though. I think that would have been, I don't know, a little cooler looking. Maybe it would have been too scary. I don't know. But yeah, nice wood grain sculpted in his side of his head, and right there on the top and everything. You get all the wood pieces. And by the way, all of these are very hollow plastic, right? These are not, terribly expensive figures or anything like that, but you can see we get some nice green vines right in there. Then looking at the legs, more wood grain going all the way through, and we get those Groot toes with some little wood knots right there on the top of each of them. Then here's the back of the leg, and then we get some Groot butt and then there's a Groot back. And then here's looking at the Star-Lord, and my first gripe is the color of the hair. I wish they went with a much lighter brown or a blonde color. He's blonde in the comics, so they could have gone with a lighter brown color to make him look like a movie version, or a blonde, more like the comic version. But I do like how the sculpt came out, you know, doesn't look too shabby. Get a lot of little details throughout over here. Yeah, it does look like Star-Lord, some gold and red paint right over there. Then here's looking on the side of the head, and then there's looking on the back, get some more detail. Then he has his red jacket over here, and then he has the blue, or the very light sky blue, and some wrinkles sculpted. And he has his two blasters right here. You can actually take these out of his hands if you'd like, and port them in each of the sides on the hip right there. So I think that's pretty nifty. You get weapon storage. That's pretty cool. The pants look pretty good. Nice looking wrinkles. Gets a bit more glossy right over here towards the bottom with the boots. So I think that's pretty neat. And then here we have Thor, son of Odin, and we get some pretty nice details on the helmet. I think the helmet looks pretty cool, right? Not looking too shabby at all. And you get some hair right there, sculpted in the very back. There's a little bit of the gray bleeding into the hair right up over here. It looks like not all of it got painted accurately, but it's not the worst. And then you can tell this is more like a comic version. We get the discs right over there. A decent flesh tone on it, but he doesn't have a cape. Kind of wish he had a cape. And then looking at the legs, it's just mostly blue all the way down, even though you have these straps sculpted right there. So they could have painted those, right? And they go all the way around. Not looking too bad though as far as the sculpt. Oh, and he does come with his own Mjolnir, which is pretty neat. So I like that he comes with Mjolnir. A little tilted right there, and you get a little strap piece. Now there's no Mjolnir storage, and he can only hold it in his right hand because we have a fist right here on the left side. And then here we have Falcon, which I think is one of the cooler looking ones. I feel like this is kind of like a representation of his latest design because he's no longer Captain America anymore, but this doesn't really look exactly how his latest suit looks. So it's a decent look for him. And, you know, the facial features aren't necessarily, you know, uniquely African American at all, except for, I guess, the hair. But yeah, you know, and there's a little bit of a reddish hue to the skin tone. So not my favorite skin tone for this, but I do like this matte white that we get right over there. That looks pretty good. And then it doesn't go all the way to the very back. It just turns into blue. There is some assembly required. All you have to do is peg in the wings right there. As you can see, you get two pegs right there, and you just port them into the wing. So there you go. Kind of get this metallic sheen a little bit on this gauntlet right here, but the wings look pretty nice. Yeah, not too bad. Not too pointy either. And you can see the very back of the arm right there, and then there's the back of the legs and everything, and it's just mostly all smooth blue plastic. I have Hawkeye. Yeah, so he has some pretty decent looking glasses, even though the stems right over here on the sides don't really have any paint on them, so it just goes to a flesh color. But he has the bright blonde hair, you know, it's just sculpted pretty well, so decent hair sculpt on that. Then he has all black on the very back, and he has a little purple arrow design right there. Decent looking flesh tone, very glossy black throughout on this guy. He comes with this bow, no arrows or anything, but yeah, you can see it's a pretty thin bow, you know, no string attached or anything like that. Very glossy black, and got some fairly decent details on here, you know, kind of looking like Ultimate Hawkeye. You know, but this is the current design of Hawkeye in the comics. Then here's our all new, all different Avengers Iron Man, which is actually one of my favorite ones out of this whole set. I do like how the gold looks right over here. We get some silver added to the neck. There's an arc reactor. Pretty nice looking design. Get a lot of lines sculpted in the back right over here. Not looking too bad. Yeah, I like the gold. Not too bad looking for an Iron Man. I mean, he's all hollow and everything like the rest, but still. I like how there's a little bit of a glitter in the plastic too. You can see a little bit shimmery right there. And then here's looking at Black Widow. Again, pretty good looking face sculpt. I think it's the same face sculpt as the Gamora, but definitely a new hair sculpt because we get these bangs right over here. And I do like the hair color. It looks pretty good. There's no paint detail in it or anything like that, but I think it has a nice color to it and it's sculpted fairly well. And then she has mostly black over here. We get the big old Widow symbol where something else would be there. It's a kid's toy, so yeah, that's appropriate. And we have these wristbands which you can rotate right over here. Get some added red. There's her belt, again with the Widow logo. And we can rotate these around. And she has some elbow pads right over there. Then there's the back of the toy, and she has some knee pads going on, and some shin guards, and some nice little wrinkles in her feet. And then just looking at Black Panther, one of my favorite ones from this set. I really like this one a lot. Nice looking head sculpt right there. Nice clean paint for the eyes. Not looking too bad. Well, I guess the front of it does stick out a little bit more than I think it really needs to. But we do have the silver on the necklace painted all the way through on the back, as well as the front. Then you get some nice little wrinkles throughout, you know, good muscle definition. He has a black or silver belt right there. We added some silver right here on the forearms, but you can see some nice wrinkles. He doesn't have claws sticking out or anything, no sharp nails, but you can see, you know, you get some wrinkles in the fabric and stuff like that. Pretty decent looking boots as well. And lastly, we are looking at the Ant-Man, aka Giant Man, and this is my favorite one from the set. This looks pretty cool. I do like this one the most. It has the most sculpted detail and paint, I think, anyway. So I actually like this one. I am going to keep this one. If you're wondering why I'm reviewing such kids' toys, because, you know, it's been a while since I've done so. You know, I have a lot of neighbors that have kids that are pretty young that I know that are going to want these for Christmas gifts. So, you know, I'm planning ahead, bro. Okay, so don't blame me. But anyway, we get some nice red right over here and some silver added to it, looking really nice. Not necessarily film or comic accurate. It's kind of an amalgam of the two. But nice looking belt, which definitely looks like it's from the movie. I like that. Pretty neat. And we get some touches of red right over there. And the wristlets over here look pretty good. Like that. Not a whole lot of paint on the back. You do get some right there on the shoulder pads, you know, so pretty bare on the back of it, but you do get some more red right here on the knee pads and on the legs. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, probably going to keep this one, you know, add him to my growing Giant Man effect. I'll try to show that off in a minute. But first, to briefly go over the articulation on these, and they're slightly different from each other. They all can move their heads side to side. You get that kind of motion. They barely move up and down though, and they can all move their shoulders forward, and they can all move their legs forward and back. However, some of them do have wrist swivels, like the Falcon, Hawkeye, Thor. Most of them actually have wrist swivels or forearm swivels. It's just the Spider-Man, Gamora, and Black Widow that don't have any wrist swivel or forearm swivels at all. And then as you can see, Spider-Man does not have a hip joint that can move outward, but the Iron Man figure does. So a bunch of them have the hip joint that moves outward, like the Iron Man, Black Panther, Ant-Man does, Thor, Star-Lord, Groot, and that's it. Yeah, those are the only ones that have the outward hip movement. And to get an average idea of how tall these are, they're all standing, I want to say, close to about the 11.5-inch mark. And then for a quick little size comparison, here's the Marvel Legends 12-inch scale figure of Captain America, so you can see how one of those scales with the rest of these. This is definitely for the adult collector. And then here they all are next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Then here's me trying to do a growing effect with the Titan Heroes Ant-Man right here in the back. Well, actually in the very back we have the Hot Toys Ant-Man right there, but you can see that, you know, this Titan Heroes figure is just a little bit smaller. So if you didn't want to cough up the money for a Hot Toy, you wanted to get this for your Giant Man effect, that would actually work out pretty well. I mean, just taking this guy out of the picture over here, you can see we get the Marvel Select, and then you have the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure, and then boom, we get the Titan Heroes one right there. So that's my review, you guys. This is definitely not for the adult collector, more for the kids. Killed my mom. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of these toys, let me know what you think of the review. If you want to see more Shartimus Prime videos, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to ensure that my videos are popping up in your feed. If you want to see a photo gallery of images, they'll be over at marvelousnews.com and shartimusprime.net, and don't forget to follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links to everything in the description below. Oh my god, I have a really bad headache. Okay, I'll catch you guys later. Peace. I'm gonna play with my toys today. I'm gonna play with my toys today. I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care what the strangers say. I'm gonna play with my toys today.
That's crispy.
Hey, new Shartimus Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,